Happy Thursday, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. I was running a little bit behind, but it seemed like I'm on time. Thank God. What a day, you guys. What a day. I was like rushing to get home and there was a little bit of traffic. Then I had to go to Walmart, get food for my dog and come home, unpack everything, get ready so I can be live with you guys. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I am exhausted, but I'm here because of you, because I love you all. And I really appreciate all of you coming in here and joining me live. Let me just breathe. Have a sip of wine. And let's get started. All right. Now, ex-Prince Andrew reportedly arrested by the UK police. And I have to say, it was a long day coming. You know what I mean? Long time coming, excuse me. And it's about freaking time. Arrested today, this morning in the UK, finally. And I always said, when things are hidden in the dark, God is going to bring it to the light. And a lot of things that people have been doing very shady and very sketchy and very corrupt way is coming back to bite them in the ass. And former Prince Andrew, he's first. And I just like that part. I like the fact that the UK, they're doing something about it. So I just want to read to you why he was arrested and being charged for misconduct. Being charged for misconduct as the Epstein fallout grows. So according to the UK police on Thursday, arrested Andrew with Mountbatten-Windsor, the former British royal whose title was stripped last year over his ties to Jeffrey Epstein for alleged misconduct in the public office. Weeks after the latest Justice Department Epstein files release showed more details of the former prince's ties to the convicted sex offender. Excuse me. In a statement issued to the BBC, Valley Police said, we have today, February 19, the numbers are backwards in the UK, they put 19/2, and for us in the United States, it's February 19, which is very different. Arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk on suspicion of misconduct, which we all know it's former Prince Andrew, and public office and are carrying out searches at his address. So things are coming out, you guys, and check out this reporting of Prince Andrew being arrested on Thursday. Take a listen.
AndrewMountbatten-Windsor, of course, former Prince Andrew, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This is according to the police. We've just received this statement. It comes just after we heard that police had arrived at the home of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor and that the police had been previously assessing evidence in relation to revelations in the so-called Epstein files. Now, what do we know so far? It has been a tumultuous few months, of course, for former Prince Andrew. He has been pushed out of the monarch's estate, essentially shoved into Sandringham, where he has lost all of his royal titles as well since last year, stripped of those royal titles by his brother King Charles. An anti-monarchy group filed a complaint against him after the most recent trove of documents was released, accusing him of violating his role as a trade envoy for the UK by sending secrets, by sending state information, by sending details of economic packages that Britain was working on to Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Mr. Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor.
Pause. Isn't that treason in the UK? If you're releasing information to other people, let alone Jeffrey Epstein, who was working for the Mossad, okay? Allegedly, I'm going to say, and working for Israel, isn't that treason for him to release former Prince Andrew to release information to Jeffrey Epstein through email? And now they're catching on to this? This has been happening for a very long time, and now they're catching on to this. Well, right? It's better late than never, I guess.
has denied any wrongdoing, but these are absolutely extraordinary events for someone of this title, someone of this status, the brother of King Charles. Can
you imagine King Charles? That must be difficult for him. His brother, that he has to do this. But you know what? Family is important, obviously. You know what I mean? But as a king, his duty is for the people, his people. And he has to set an example, even though that's his brother, and he loves his brother, but his brother did some terrible things. His brother had sex with underage girls, let alone Virginia Duvray. And she was 17. And people are going to justify it. Oh, she was 17. Hello, she was still a minor. She was not 18. She's 17. I'm sorry, she did not live in the UK. She was an American, for goodness sake, who lived in Florida. Okay, that is sexual assault. That is a sex crime, okay? When an older man have sex with an underage girls, that is a sex crime, okay? I don't care how old you are. You don't live in France. You don't live in the UK. I know that there's a different age bracket over there. But in the United States, that's called, let me just refresh my memory, okay? That's called sex with a minor, sexual abuse, sex trafficking, sexual assault. I don't know what other definition do you need. Okay, when an older man has sex with a child, that is a sex crime. Point blank, period.
Right now, be arrested. Again, we are waiting for more information, but we also know that King Charles had previously said he is willing to work with the police if it comes to that, and it has clearly come to that.
It came to that. Very good. And now King Charles, he's willing to work with authorities and the Brits and willing to cooperate, and rightfully so. So I'm glad that King Charles is taking the necessary steps to do whatever he needs when it comes to the police, and cooperating and give him whatever information that he needs in regards to his brother, because his brother did a lot of shady things, and now everything's going to be exposed and come to the light. And I will definitely keep you updated on that. Moving on, you guys. Now, you remember this week I told you that we're going back, meaning we're going to do some reviewing, we're going to do some analyzing. Sometimes, we don't see things clearly right in front of us, and sometimes we have to go back to the beginning in order it to make sense. Now, when the whole Jeffrey Epstein scandal, I did not follow through. I did not follow up on it. I didn't even know about it. I was probably in my 20s. I was living in New York. So I heard stories, bits and pieces about the whole big scandal, to be honest with you, but I did not report on it because, again, I was in my own world. I was doing my own thing. When I was in New York, I didn't really follow the case thoroughly until last year I did. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. When I was reading all the police reports going way back in 2008, this is going way back 2008, okay? And I did my research and went through all the Palm Beach Post newspaper clippings and everything, which I did print out, and I'm not going to show all of it. I'm not going to show to you guys all of it because it's a lot. It's 100 pages. But I did pull out a few things that was very important for me to share with you and discuss with you as well. So that's why we're going way back. We're going way back because a lot of people knew about Epstein's behavior and his activities and what he was doing with underage girls. I don't give a damn what anyone tells me or tell you that people didn't know. People knew. They knew, and they allowed it, and they didn't do anything. The first person that reported this to the FBI and to the police department was Annie Farmer. She's the one who broke the case. She's the one who initially told the FBI what was going on because of her sister as well. And they did the investigation, stuff like that. And he got the damn sweetheart deal. And I have to say, and I said it yesterday or the day before, I don't remember, someone from the inside in the Palm Beach department, again, this is my speculation, this is just my theory, someone tipped him off. Someone tipped Epstein off and told him what was going to happen, what was going to transpire. And that's why he left. That's why he told his assistant to gather all the computer equipment, the computer devices and everything, and move it to New York. Okay, someone tipped him off, because if someone didn't tip him off, they would have found all the criminal evidence of him having sex with underage girls, and that man would have been done and over with. So basically, Epstein was 10 steps ahead of the authorities, even though he was tipped off about what was going to happen, that his house was going to be kind of raided because there was a warrant to search his home at the time when he was living in Palm Beach. And he got away. But let me read to you this newspaper clipping in the Palm Beach Post. So it's a Palm Beach billionaire going to jail. And this was posted on June 30th of 2008 at 10:35 a.m. West Palm Beach, Florida. Palm Beach billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein pleaded guilty this morning to 2 felony charges, will be spent the next year and a half in jail, which we all know that did not happen. That was definitely not true. Accused of hiring underage teens for sexual favors, Epstein charges include offering, engage in prostitution and soliciting of prostitution. And his plea agreement ensured that Epstein will serve a total of 18 months in Palm Beach detention facility. 18 months. That's all he got, you guys. 18 months. And even though he had 18 months, he had an ankle monitor, and he still can go and please wherever he wanted to. He can go to Israel, which he did, travel there, come back. And I'm like, he had sex with a 17-year-old. And then when I was watching Piers Morgan show on February 12th, and then Alan Dershowitz, former lawyer of Epstein, he kind of like justified, well, she was 17 and a half, 18 months. She was 17. She was still a minor. Okay, she was not 18 yet. And for him to say, well, she was 17 and a half, so that doesn't justify him as being a pervert or a pedophile. I'm sorry. So wait, they have to be lower, I guess? They have to be 12, 13, 14, 15, 16? What is it? 17, it doesn't matter. That's still having sex with underage. She was not legally an adult yet. And for someone who's a lawyer, you would think he would have enough sense to realize, oh, shoot, she was 17. It doesn't matter if she was 17 and a half. She was still a minor. She was not legally 18 yet. Now, if she was 18, then that's a different story, but she wasn't. So I didn't like the fact that he said that. That just turned me off. And the thing is, I don't really like him. And I don't even know Alan Dershowitz, to be honest with you. I just know there's something about him that looks real shady. He's not really trustworthy, and he seems like he lies. And again, maybe because I just don't like lawyers, because lawyers tend to lie and not be truthful, and think that they're think that they're like so amazing. I don't know. I just don't like him. I think there's something about him that he knows a lot of things and he's not telling, obviously because of, lawyer privilege, confidential, whatever. I get that. But there's something about that man I just don't like at all. He doesn't seem very honest and trustworthy, in my opinion. But anyway, continue on. Then the convention stems for several incidents from August of 2004 to October 2005. Okay, after 18 months in the Palm Beach detention facility, Epstein will serve another 12 months house arrest in his Palm Beach home. And he did not stay in his home, in his house arrest. He came as he pleased. He went as he goes. He did not follow the rules because there were people who worked for him or people that he knew let him do whatever he freaking wants. Now, if it was an average person and if you break the laws and not stay home because you were house arrest and you went anywhere you want, you'd be arrested. You'd be arrested and you go back to jail. That was not with Epstein in his case because he went freely wherever he wanted to go. And no one and hold him accountable for that, which is very weird. Not very weird, which is very disgusting, actually. Then within 2 days of Epstein's release, he will have to register as a sex offender and designate he will have to keep for the rest of his life. So obviously that is true. He is a registered sex offender, and that is for life, whether he's dead or alive. And a lot of people think that he's alive. And that's another thing that I want to talk about later on. Now, going back, because we're going back in time, we're doing a review, and I'm analyzing everything. And while I was printing everything out, what's so funny, and again, I'm going back to Piers Morgan when he spoke to Alan Dershowitz, and Alan Dershowitz mentioned the polygraph that Epstein passed. And there is a Palm Beach newspaper article, which I can show you guys if you can see. Okay, so you know I'm not lying. That it says that polygraph shows that he didn't know the girl's age. Lawyer said, and the lawyer was Alan Dershowitz at the time. And I'm saying bullshit. Anyone can fake, altered, whatever, a polygraph. Okay, if you are skilled and you're good at faking the polygraph, you can. You trying to tell me that you didn't know the girls were underage? Bullshit. And that's what Alan Dershowitz said, that he passed. He didn't know. Yeah, okay. And I'm going to tell you why this is bullshit, because there's proof that he knew, Jeffrey Epstein knew that he was dealing with underage girls. So let's go. You're not going to even read the article. I'm going to read you the proof of this underage girl at the time, and she was in a detective office in Palm Beach County, and this was in 2004, okay? And it has all the dates of all the payments that Epstein paid her from October 9th of 2004 through November 9th of 2004 of $20. And I can show you right now, this is her handwriting, if you can see, which I'm going to read to you. A lot of it is redacted, so I don't know the names, but you know, we can try to put two and two together to figure that out. Let's go. This is what the underage, one of Jeffrey Epstein victim wrote for her statement to the Palm Beach police detective, excuse me. Every time I went to Jeffrey's Palm Beach house on LL Street, he never answered the door around back. And I went through his front door once where blank, because we don't know the name, answered the door. In the back, there was another building that was probably for his housekeepers. I never went there. Some cars that I saw at Jeffrey's house when I went were always black Mercedes, Suburbans, and SUV Cadillacs. The inside of Jeffrey's house, when you go through the back door, you walk into the kitchen, and the kitchen was a stairway, a little fridge with, okay, we're gonna read this because her handwriting at the time was just, oh my gosh, I don't know. But anyway, I guess this was the fridge with DeSantis Fuji little water bottles, a big fridge, a bar in the middle with white stainless steel stool, a desk, a stove, and I met his cook. Once I think it was his name was Kevin. And let me stop right there. This is the young girl, okay, fully details after details of the description of Jeffrey Epstein's house in Palm Beach, okay? So you can't tell me that these girls were lying. You cannot tell me they were not there. This was details, okay? Details of description of this man's home. Let's continue. If you walk out of the kitchen, there's an open storage kind of room. Then you walk into the living room where you can see the water and his pool. And the thing got cut off. Let's continue. The desk. Then you walk into where the front door is with a sterile type staircase. There was a naked lady statue, and up the staircase are pictures. When you get up the stairs, there another statue. I think his room was to the right, and to the left was some other bedrooms. The walls were all pink, and Jeffrey's room is how you get to his bathroom, where I did his massage. I do remember his bed sheets were all white. Jeffrey's massage table was in the closet in the bedroom. The closet lights turn on when you walk in the closet by themselves. In the closet were pictures of a pregnant girl, and some family with him in the picture. I'm guessing it was a family. I wouldn't put the I would put the massage table in the middle of the room with the sink on on the side and a pink and green couch on the other side. Jeffrey used dark blue towels that were on shelves right by the door. There was a dresser that had lotion and toys, and the drawer light wooden. And Jeffrey's bathroom was a toilet with a door separate, a steamer sauna, a shower with a raindrop shower head. Also by the phone was his bathroom and his room, where was orange orange phone book. The white shutters that was that were in has bathroom were automatic. I left out of them one time and had a couple laying out on chairs. A white straw staircase that led to his backyard, where there was a statue where I left out of a white little fence, where I would also come in. In the front of his house was an automatic white fence. And then the rest got cut off, and then I can just see $100 bills. So then it continue on, would give Jeffrey massage, and he would ask me to talk dirty to him. Jeffrey would grab me and spank me until I would tell him to stop because I didn't like it. Jeffrey would use his gray and white toy to try to get me off. When he was ejaculating, Jeffrey loved when I would pinch his nipples. Jeffrey would tell me that I had the perfect body to model, and he would try to get me a modeling job. And at that time, I was in modeling camp. Modeling was my dream, and Jeffrey and I would talk about this in vacation to Paris and to New York, where he told me in New York he had an office. Jeffrey wanted to take me to New York, and here's the reveal, to New York, but he said he couldn't because I was not 18. There you go, you guys. He knew. So when Alan Dershowitz said that he passed a polygraph test, and this article says that polygraph shows that he didn't know the girl's age, bullshit, because it says it right here when the girl's statement said that he could not take me to New York because I was not 18. So what that tells you guys? What does that tell you? That the girl was underage. The girl was probably 16, 17, even younger probably. So he knew, he had common knowledge that all the girls that he had gave him massage and stuff like that, he knew they were young. He's not an idiot. He knew. He had a type, he knew what he wanted, he knew what he was looking for, and he had people recruit them for him to give him massages for $200 because he knew girls, when you're in high school and middle school, that's quick money, okay? Anyone in their right mind at that time, and when you're young, that's quick money. Oh, you're just gonna give some old rich man a massage and that's it. 200 quick bucks, easy. Then you can go to the mall with your friends and buy some stuff and shop around or whatever. They never imagined in a million years that it would be something demonic, something dark. They just thought that they was gonna get some easy, quick money and get a massage from an old billionaire, and that would be the end of it. And sure enough, it wasn't. Then they continue to say Jeffrey wore a dark blue robe just like his towels. The lotion I would use were from Bath and Body Works and cost $12 a bottle. The bottles were a shiny gray. Jeffrey phones were a cream color, like an office phone with a lot of buttons on them. I think another assistant of Jeffrey that I met was blank, and we don't know. And I believe I know who his assistant was because when the first binders were released, his assistant name popped up, and I can't remember her name in the top of my head. And she got a deal too that she would never be charged because she was aware of Jeffrey Epstein activities. Then it continues to say would go to Jeffrey's most of the time at 11 a.m. and she should be at school at the time, but anyway, for an hour. One time I went to Jeffrey's at 7 p.m. And again, if that was my child leaving, I'm like, where are you going? You're not going anywhere. But anyway, the kitchen had white tile. The living room was wooden floor, and the stairs and upstairs was carpet. I think it was an off-white tan I can't even read the bottom what she said, kind of color, and that's it. So, what to make of this, you guys? What to make of this? Okay, it just clearly that people knew about his behavior and they chose not to do anything about this, you guys. Okay, so I don't want. To be honest with you, it's really insulting when people say, "Well, he never knew about the female's age." Bullshit, because he did know. Clearly, that one of the victims did say that in her statement, and she said it in her deposition as well. And anyone can fake a polygraph. Anyone can fake a polygraph test. If you know what you're doing and know how to beat the machine, you can. A lot of people have done it many, many times. Okay, now. We're going back. We're going to go back to this Jeffrey Epstein former butler, Alfredo Rodriguez. Now, this story is just very, very crazy to me because Alfredo was a former butler of Jeffrey Epstein. And you know how Ben Shapiro, Cash Patel, maybe Pam Blondie, has no sense, said there was no black book? Well, apparently there was. There was a black book, a blacklist, whatever, with names. Okay, it did exist. It probably does still exist because the FBI still had that book. So if anyone tells you that it was not there, it didn't exist, it sure enough exists because this former butler made a copy of it. Yes, he made a copy of it, and then he wanted to sell that black book for $50,000 to an undercover cop. And the thing is, the former butler, Alfredo Rodriguez, which he's dead, by the way. I just want to let you guys know that he's dead. He's no longer here on this earth. He had common knowledge. He saw what was going on in that house of Jeffrey Epstein Palm Beach home. And instead of doing the right thing by just giving the authorities the little black book, he wanted extortion out of it. He wanted $50,000. Well, I'm not going to release it until you pay me. That's just disgusting. Disgusting. Like you notice that, no, you seen, underage girls going to this grown man's house and you knew what was happening. At the time, he was not a dummy, I don't believe, or he was just pretending, but he knew. And it says it in the undercover footage, which I'm about to show you, he knew about this. And instead of doing the right thing, he wanted money out of it in order to turn in the book. So there is such a thing as the little black book with all the names, the telephone numbers of all the underage girls. So it does exist, and the FBI do have it in their possession. But take a listen to this undercover video.
Last name, area codes, okay.
Who created this book?
Epstein himself.
This book was made by Epstein?
This is a video of an FBI sting operation with Jeffrey Epstein's former house manager and an undercover FBI employee from 2009. The Palm Beach house manager, Alfredo Rodriguez, believes he is selling Epstein's address book to someone representing a lawyer of Epstein's victims.
You will see a lot of important people here.
He claims that the book contains contacts of powerful people, as well as Epstein's victims.
So those are mostly underage girls, those numbers?
They were very young.
A source familiar with the case confirmed the video shows the sting operation, which court documents show happened 2 years after the FBI demanded that Rodriguez turn over any Epstein documents. Instead, court documents say he kept the address book and tried to sell it for $50,000.
What a shame.
In the occasionally redacted 45-minute video of the meeting, Rodriguez implicates Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's close associate, who's now serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking of minors.
Ghislaine Maxwell was his former companion, very powerful lady from England. She would go to the former Eastern countries in Europe and find girls for Epstein. And I knew that because I went with my wife.
Rodriguez also claims that Maxwell kept a computer database of girls, something he said he saw briefly once.
Kind of pictures.
Pause. Let me just put myself back up here. Thank you. Now, And for Ghislaine Maxwell said that she had no involvement, and you heard this man said that Ghislaine Maxwell had a computer, had everything on it. You see what I'm saying? I just don't understand why they're entertaining this woman in the first place. Why they moved her to a lower maximum security in prison. They should move her back. They moved her to what, Texas, I believe? They should move her back. Move her back, because she is a criminal. And there's evidence to the fact that that gentleman, Alfredo Rodriguez, even said that Ghislaine Maxwell had stuff in her computer. Where is that computer, actually? I know it's old, but still, where's that information? Where is the data? Data don't go away unless you make it go away. You understand? So she's not innocent here. Even though she tried to think that she's innocent, she's trying to bargain with the DOJ so she can get clemency. She's not getting it, okay? She's wasting her breath and her time. She's just a waste of oxygen, okay? No one's not believing anything that she has to say because she is a criminal, okay? She is serving 20 years, and there's, among other people, need to face jail time as well. Let's continue.
Naked girls from Sweden, from Romania, from Czechoslovakia, from Brazil, from
All
Colombia.
minors, all young girls?
Very young, very young.
Like when you say very young, how young are we talking?
16, 17. The teenagers, they don't have braces, most of them.
Rodriguez provided no evidence to support the existence of the database.
Good, count it. And while you're
The video, released as part of the recent trove of Epstein documents, abruptly ends after the agent hands Rodriguez a bag of cash and says he will call the lawyer. Rodriguez was arrested for failing to turn over the book as evidence. He claimed the book was his property and that he should be...
Disgusting. It's not your property. It's part of evidence. And for him not to do that, not to just hand it over forthwillingly, is disgusting. Again, he was trying to extort the undercover because he wanted money. Like, he knew what was going on. And he chose not to do anything, but he wanted to bargain to get some money out of it because Jeffrey Epstein fired him.
compensated for it, saying it was his insurance policy and that he feared Epstein would make him disappear or harm him. He eventually pleaded guilty to obstruction charges. At sentencing, prosecutors said that if Rodriguez had turned over the book in 2007, when authorities first requested it, it would have significantly advanced the ball.
Pause. 2007. 2007, you guys. This has been going on since 2007, and we're in 2026, okay? They knew, all of them, his lawyers, the Alexander Costa, they all knew what he was doing. And they turned a blind eye because allegedly he was working for the Mossad. He was in connection with other people, and they let him go. They gave him a slap on the wrist of 18 months, 2 counts of prostitution of an underage, a 17-year-old and a 20-year-old. And they gave him house arrest, when that's not considered even a house arrest anyway. Absolutely disgusting.
Toward bringing Epstein to trial rather than allowing him to secure a plea deal. Rodriguez was sentenced to 18 months in prison and died in 2014.
There you have it. It's crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. It's just despicable, and it's nuts. But anyway, now let's go to talk about Nancy Mace. I absolutely like her. She is amazing. She takes no shit, no bullshit from anyone, okay? When she wants something, she gets it, meaning that transparency, demanding some arrests, demanding, some accountability to be made, especially with the Epstein thing. So the latest thing with her, with the Epstein on February 13, and this was breaking news, it says Nancy Mace is now publicly naming multiple Jeffrey Epstein clients who are expected to be identified, okay? And I'm gonna let you listen to her press release, the names that she identified, and then we're gonna go from there. So take a listen to Nancy Mace of the statement that she made and the names that she named in that list. Take a listen.
Well, Bill Gates is going to be on there. I've talked about him. Leon Black is another one who's been mentioned in the press. Again, when it comes to some of the female individuals, I want to make sure that I'm not revealing the names. We have vetted the list of females one time. I found more names yesterday, so we're going to do a second vetting of those names. The magician, whom everybody knows, is going to be on the list. Jess Staley is another one who's going to be on the list. So some of these names you're going to recognize, but then there are others who worked in the houses, who clearly witnessed things, that I'm going to ask to come forward and answer questions.
And have you seen anybody in the? I guess what I'm getting at here with your list, are any of them, Republican allies of the president, or are they all?
There'll be a mix of
not
Republicans and
allies,
Democrats.
But
I'm going to be equal opportunity about the names on. I'm not going to be.
Sure.
I'm not going to be filtering it for political affiliation.
I like that. So you heard it, and I'm just going to repeat it to you. The names again: Bill Gates, Leon Black, Jesse Stanley, and David Copperfield, the magician. Isn't that something? That's just crazy. And there's more names to be released. Obviously, we know Leslie Wexner. His name is on the files multiple times. And among people, there are going to be more names going to be released. Now, will there be some accountabilities? I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I hope and pray that they will be, but we're going to wait and see. And that's the thing that Nancy, Thomas Massey, Roman, if I'm saying his name right, they're all taking accountability to get justice for the victims, because no one else is doing it for them. They're just saying, hey, we did what you wanted, we released the files, and that's it. And that should be the end of it. We gave you what you want, and that should be it. And I have to say, it's not about the Democrats, it's not about the Republicans. It's about wealth, power, influencers, people that they know. It's not even about both parties, okay? It's about wealthy, rich people getting away with things and thinking that they're untouchable, thinking that they're not above the law. That's what it really boils down to, you guys. It's not about red or blue. It's not about that. It's about wealth, power, and just trying to control the narrative, okay? And just trying to, what's the word I have it down. Corruption. That's basically what it boils down to. You know what I mean? And it is pretty sad and pathetic that our president is aware of this, okay? And Marjorie Taylor Greene been saying that. Why do you think President Trump was so upset when she quit and left and said that she's a traitor? She's a traitor to our country because she knows so much, and she's exposing the stuff that Trump is doing. Now, a lot of people saying that Trump didn't have nothing to do with it. He didn't have sex with underage girls. I truly believe that until there is some concrete proof and evidence that he did have sex with underage girls. Do I believe that he had common knowledge and he's protecting people that he knows that on the file? 100%. That is 100% for sure. And he's protecting these wealthy people opposed to getting justice, like I keep saying, to the victims, instead of doing an investigation. Why he's protecting them? Why he's not demanding an open investigation on these men that were involved in this? Because there was a lot of people who were around Jeffrey Epstein, but didn't have any knowledge of what he was doing. You know what I mean? You see Chris Tucker, you see Diana Ross, you see Michael Jackson, you see Naomi Campbell. A lot of celebrities that he hang out with, I feel like that was all a stage for Jeffrey Epstein to blend in. You know what I mean? And I think that the reason why he did that for his own purpose and his own gain, to use that, so when he when he's around underage girls, or when the people recruit the underage girls, he can use that as his leverage. Oh, I know a Victoria's Secret model. I know Naomi Campbell. I know certain X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? I can get you in. You know what I mean? And that can just gravitate to any young girl because they see photos of him with these celebrities, and then they know that he's not bullshitting. So he knew what he was doing. He was trying to weasel himself in to the high elite people, to blend in and to have some type of connection with some of these celebrities. Even though I believe some of the celebrities may not have knowledge, some did, obviously. Some did, and they turned a blind eye. But what I'm saying is, you guys, it's super important to recognize it's not about Democrats and Republicans. It's about protecting the wealth, protecting these powerful men that have been doing this for a very long time. And that's what President Trump been doing. He's been doing that. And I'm going to let you take a listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene saying to this on Julia Michaels' podcast, and that President Trump knew about this. And you don't have to take my word for it. You can just listen to what Marjorie Greene had to say about that. And it's just very incredible. And then that should be, we got our answer. We got our answer. There's not going to be any arrests. We got our answer that no one's not going to do anything unless Congress steps up, because Congress is higher than Donald Trump. Unless Congress steps up and demands an open investigation, demands there be some arrests. Because look, former Prince Andrew, the UK is doing it. They're doing it already. They're doing it already, and that needs to happen here in the United States. I don't know what the hell they're waiting for. The DOJ, they're not doing their job. They're sleeping. Okay, they don't care, and they rather protect these perverts and these pedophiles instead of doing the right thing. That's their job. We pay them to do their job, and they're absolutely doing not a damn thing. So take a listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene, and what she told Julian Michaels on her podcast. Take a listen.
Okay. There were only 4 Republicans, only 4 of us that signed that discharge petition: Thomas Massie, myself, Lauren Boebert, and Nancy Mace. Now, what was happening in the background for months leading up to when we finally got it released is we were getting pressure from the White House. We were getting pressure from the speaker. Do not take your name off this discharge petition. And we're like, why? We're talking about the Epstein files. This is the ultimate promise. This is the ultimate way to provide transparency. This is the ultimate way to take it to the deep state and expose a whole criminal cabal of rich, powerful elites that I believe control everything. And guess what? Come to find out, they do.
They do.
And so we're like, why? So in the meantime, President Trump is calling it Epstein, the whole thing a hoax. Yeah. He's calling it a Democrat hoax. He won't have anything to do with the women. He still refuses to have anything to do with these women. So this whole thing is building. The women are saying President Trump did nothing wrong. They still say this. President Trump did nothing wrong.
I know.
Their attorney says President.
You heard that, right? The victims / survivors said President Trump did nothing wrong. You would think by them, these women repeatedly say that, okay, and saying it in front of everyone, the reporters and everything. You would think President Trump will meet with these women and give them transparency and tell these women that we're going to do an investigation. Once we do an investigation, once we gather all the information, they will be arrest me. None of that. So that have to tell you something. If the women are saying that President Trump don't have nothing to do with it, then why President Trump is not doing anything? Why he's not making an initiative to do an open investigation? Why he's not doing that? Because he knows who these men are and he's protecting them. That's the only reason I can think of. But let's let Marjorie continue.
Donald Trump's the only one that helped us. And guess what? That came out in the Epstein files. That he reported Jeffrey Epstein. Yep. So but Donald Trump is fighting it. President Trump is fighting it. President Trump is yelling at me. The White House is putting pressure on Nancy Mace. They take Lauren Boebert in a skiff. I don't even know what they said to her in there. They are attacking Thomas Massie, nonstop attacking Thomas Massie. And then one day I get a phone call from the president in September, and he is so mad at me. And he's yelling at me, and he's angry at me. And the fact that he's like, you're supporting Rand Paul Jr., and he's chewing me out for signing my name on Thomas Massie's discharge petition to release the Epstein files. And I'm trying to tell him, Mr. President, they say you did nothing wrong. Right. This needs to come out. Right. And so we're having this argument. And he tells me on this phone call, he's like, Marjorie, my friends will get hurt.
That's it. That's it.
That's it. You see, my friends will get hurt. He rather protects his friends. His friends will get hurt, opposed to doing an open investigation for these perverts so this never happens again. And how did he not know that these perverts, these pedophiles, are doing it right now as we speak? Having sex with underage girls, thinking that they can get away with it because they have people that they know who has power to make it go away. How can he sleep at night, President Trump? How can you sleep at night and lay your head on a pillow knowing your friends are doing this? And they've been doing it for a long time. How can you sleep at night? Shame on you. Shame on you, President Trump. You're disgusting and you're a disgrace. I'm sorry. Shame. Especially you have children, grandchildren. And you allow this. He allowed this. Absolutely disgusting.
I mean, that is it. Obviously, that's it. Because they're all in here. Imagine the phone calls. It's everyone. It's every single person is on this freaking list. They're all there. Every billionaire, heads of state, Larry Summers, Peter Thiel. They're all
there. And he knows it. Pan Bondi knows it. Cash Patel, Dan Bajoni. That's why he left. That's why he left. He knew. So just a shock in Julian's face. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my God. That's what Dan left. He bounced. He said, this is above my pay rate. That's what Dan said. This is above my pay rate, and I'm not trying to get killed. I'm not trying to get involved. I'm going to get the F out. And that's sure enough, that's what he did. And now he's on his podcast. Okay. And you got the rest of these corruption people covering up. There's no files. The victims raped themselves. There's no one, Cash Patel just an idiot, freaking idiot. You have thousands of victims that came forward, and you have probably another 1,000, maybe more, have not come forward. You know why? Because look what's happening now. They're not getting any justice. They're not getting anything. Absolutely disgusting. We're going to continue on with the
between Epstein and Bannon, and he's talking about, okay, the subject matter is the most powerful U.S. group, much stronger than the military. I'm resting with how you get these guys on your side. You want disruption?
So this is an email between Bannon and Epstein, what Julia Michael is reading. So let me just rewind this back for you guys so you could understand what the email of these two gentlemen were corresponding with one another. Take a listen.
This one is between Epstein and Bannon, and he's talking about, okay, the subject matter is the most powerful U.S. group, much stronger than the military. I'm resting with how you get these guys on your side. You want disruption? Wow. That's from Epstein to Bannon. They all need the China speech as they are enamored with the size and naively do not recognize the ruse. Bannon, do you know these guys? Epstein, some of the founders and organizers, they're the most dangerous force in today's society. All caps, by far, exclamation, 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 bioweapons. What other 60-year-old tech frightens you? Space Frontier can't operate without software. Bannon, this group, most dangerous, question mark? Wow, you know these guys? Question mark, question mark, question mark. What's the 20K reference? Do you think I could get an invite to speak? Epstein to Bannon. There are 20,000 hackers showing up at the same place. They will be sharing ideas on hacking crypto exchanges, voting booths, medical records, crypto wallets, denial of service attacks, competitions as to which team can break a secure code, a Jeopardy-style competition, rebreaking phones, networks, hacking self-driving cars and planes. Bannon, get it. Marjorie. What kind of evil is this? What kind of evil? Like, and I listen, I appreciate everyone. Like, it's disgusting what happened to these girls, but this is what is this? Tell me what this is, dude. Help me. What is the evil? How is it? How are this many people this evil? What?
It's
no words.
I know.
Can't
It's
come
really
out
it's terrible. It's honestly it's power and money. It truly corrupts and it rots people's souls, and it I think.
And that's why I don't understand how these people sleep at night. They don't give a damn. It's all about money. It's all about money, power, and corruption. That's where it boils down to, ladies and gentlemen. And now you know that our president right now is protecting these perverts, protecting these pedophiles. And there's not going to be any open investigation unless Congress steps up, which Thomas Massey, Nancy Mace, among other people are stepping up to demand this because they're not doing it. And President Trump been giving pushback. He didn't even want to release the files in the first place. I had a debate with my husband. We were like bickering back and forth. Oh, he wanted to. No, he did not. And there's proof of that he did not want to release it in the first place, even though he advocated that in his campaign. Transparency, we're going to release the Epstein files. He's the one. I get it that when Bush was during presidency, when Obama, Joe Biden, all that, they didn't advocate it. That's why it wasn't talked so much, and that's why no one didn't push on it. But he pushed on it. You know, if you're going to tell people that you're going to do something, stick to your words, because your word is everything. You cannot just double down and back out and say, oh, well, it's an Epstein host. There's nothing there. No, your words is everything. If you say you're going to do something, keep your word, because people remember that. You can't just bullshit people around and say you're going to do something, you're not going to follow through. You have to keep your word. And if he had no intention of releasing the files, then he shouldn't have said anything. He should not use that during his campaign when he was running, and his team. They should have kept their big mouth shut. And now that they didn't, now they're paying the price. Now they all look like idiots, okay? Idiots. And it's not a good look, and it's not a good reputation for all of them. I just have to say. That's why Dan Bongino, he's smart. He left. Even though he was a coward, in my opinion, he could have done more. But anyway, it's a here and there. That's something totally different. But at least he's smart. He left. The rest of them stayed thinking that this was going to go away. And I'm sorry, it's not going away.
That's honestly what everybody's getting to look at in these Epstein files.
But of course they can't come out, though. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but of course they can't come out. Didn't Bannon help Trump win in 2016? No wonder they can't come out. Look at this. I'm
See, now it's making sense. After what Julian just read with the email exchange between Bannon and Epstein, now it makes sense why they're not releasing the rest of the 3 million files. It makes a lot of sense now. It didn't make sense then. I thought it was because of the victims, but it's more to it, you guys. It's more bigger than we can ever imagine. And as you can see right now, after she just read that email, it makes a lot of sense why he's protecting these people. It makes a lot of sense. It all coordinates with one another. It really does.
I'm unraveling.
He said my friends. He said my friends will get hurt.
Yeah.
My friends. Disgusting. Shame.
He said, Marjorie, people you know.
See, people that she knows, people that Dan Bongino, Cash, all of them know. That's what he said. That's what he said. And that's why they're not releasing it. That's why they're not releasing it. Isn't that something? But anyway, let's go to Tim Dillon. I just love Tim Dillon. I just love his humor, everything that he talks about, you know, when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein, to Charlie Kirk, to Pan Bongino, I said it right. Pan Bongino, everything. Pan Blondie. I'm going to say Pan Blondie. I said Bongino. I'm talking about dance. All these B words with the D words and all these names. I get them all mixed up and confused, so forgive me, you guys. But I just love his humor, and it just makes me giggle. It makes me really giggle. So take a listen to Tim Dillon about the whole Epstein thing.
Reading these files for the past, 3-4 days, everybody is sending each other emails. People are reading tweets of emails, threads of emails. You're on the subway. You lose service. Fuck. I wanted to see that email, that file. I'm in my car reading the files on the 405 in traffic. I'm reading files. I look across, someone's on their phone. I don't know what they're doing. I bet it's reading the file. We're all reading the files every moment of every day. And the files suggest that all of the things that people feared, like there was a pedophile network amongst the elites that was used as leverage to blackmail people or to, at the very least control them, is all true. That's all true. It's all indisputably true. But let's think about it. What were the takeaways? Because Kash Patel, of course, had this information before we did. It's worth revisiting Kash Patel's takeaway. What did he glean from all of these documents, and I'm sure he's got ones we haven't seen. Let's take a look now. Everyone in the world now knows that there was 100% a human trafficking operation where Jeffrey Epstein was procuring girls for wealthy and powerful people. Everybody knows that. Friend of the show, Cash Patel, let's see what he got out of it.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
Pause. Just the audacity for him to lie like that with a straight face. No one. It was just only Epstein. So you're trying to tell me one person, let me rephrase that, 2 people, Epstein and Ghislaine, the only 2 that trafficked. Right. Let's continue.
For the information that we have.
In the file.
In the case.
You don't have to be the director of the FBI to see that this guy's trafficking women. He's trafficking underage women. You don't have to be so Cash Patel's a liar. He's a big, fat liar. He's a liar, and he should resign and step down because he's lying.
Amen.
Why is he lying? Why would he tell such a fib? That is a lie. It is a lie, and he's bad at it. He's terrible at it. And we knew it was a lie when he said it. And now it's such a lie, it's actually funny. It's like a junkie who's like, no, man, I'm just tired. Like, we know you're on drugs. He's lying, and he knows he's lying, and he does that thing. When you're a liar, you're like, you kind of have an out-of-body experience where you go, is this working? You can see. There's a moment. Play it again, and I'll show you exactly where the moment is where he's curious if it's working. Cash Patel.
One, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
Now watch closely. Watch closely.
Traffic to other individuals, and the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay. Now, person
information we have. So he knows he's lying. When he says that, the information that we have, he knows he's lying, and he's wondering, hey, is this working? Is this going well? Am I lying effectively? Let me specify what I mean. The information that we have. Now, we know that he has all the information that we have and more, and much more. Now, it is obvious to anyone that this guy was a human trafficker. He was trafficking women to this island. And now it gets dark because these files talk about torture. They talk about, they say disgusting, heinous things. The littlest girl was really naughty. Then they're talking about torture. They're talking about pizza. Remember Pizzagate that was all fake? Everybody's they're all talking about pizza. It's weird.
All codes.
It is odd. It is strange. And these are code words. We know that.
Yes.
Actual code words for pedophilia. So it's like, I've gotten calls from people going, wait a minute. Am I crazy, or am I now in QAnon? Now, maybe you're not in the far reaches of QAnon, which is like Biden died and was replaced by a clone, or, you know what I mean? That's hardcore QAnon. But I think we're all QAnon light. We are all QAnon light right now. Thank you for a fun night. Your littlest girl was a little naughty. That's to Jeffrey Epstein from a redacted name. These redacted names are the pedophiles that the United States government is protecting.
Exactly. And he is absolutely 100% correct. All those names are redacted. They're protecting the pedophiles. All those names that's being blackened out, the government is protecting them. They're protecting these people, these men. High elite, wealthy, powerful men. It's absolutely disgusting.
These redacted names are the pedophiles that the U.S. government is protecting. Who are these people? Who are
they?
Get up the torture.
Some of them.
There's an email about torture. Where are you? Are you okay? I loved the torture video. That's from Jeffrey Epstein.
And now we know that's from Leon Black. Yes, which I'm going to show you a clip of, not the clip of the torture, but the clip of Shank from Young Turks and Kinkles. That I just want to make sure I got that name right. Yeah, Young Turks, excuse me. I think in Greece. That it was Leon Black who said that he loved watching torture. Disgusting, man. Disgusting. And I have to say, parents, please, for the love of God, because apparently he has a company, Leon Black, I'm trying to think here. I'm throwing a blank here. Like you take, like his company, you take photographs, you take pictures, and for kids, for school. For the love of God, please don't post your kids on social media. Just don't, because you have a lot of pedophiles out there that will use your kids' photos on a black web okay, and then sell them to other pedophiles. I just don't understand, but again, to each his own. I don't understand how some parents can just put their kids on social media at such a young age and not knowing there's pedophiles out there, knowing that they will use your kids' photos or videos or use their head and to sell it to the black web for other pedophiles to see and to do disgusting things. It's just crazy to me. Crazy. I already told my my husband, absolutely not. We're not posting anything with our kid. If I ever become pregnant by the grace of God, the only thing you're going to see of my child is her or his feet or hands. That's it. The face, off limits. Now I understand why my sister don't post none of my niece's picture on social media. Good. My cousin with his children, none of their photos on social media because they know there's perverts and pedophiles out there that using going to the dark web and using children faces and videos and stuff like that to probably like predators, basically. It's absolutely disgusting. Anyway, I'm just saying to the parents out there, please, for the love of God, don't post any pictures of your kids. Just think about that. Again, you guys got to do what you want to do. I'm just giving it a suggestion at the end of the day.
Into redacted. So Jeffrey Epstein received a torture video from someone, and he responded, "Hey, where are you? Are you okay? I love the torture video." Now, let's break that down. Let's just break it down. Let's give everyone the benefit of all of the doubts.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you? We don't know where someone is. By the way, I don't think I've ever, that's odd to email. Where are you? Where are you? Are you okay? That might mean that someone's been up to something. They've been getting wild.
Right.
Where are you? Are you okay? Is what you say after a wild night of boozing. You're wild. You had a wild night of boozing. Where are you? Are you okay? We saw you drunkenly stumbling to that car. Did you guys make it home? Now, this is followed up by 5 words that are pretty insane. I loved the torture video.
That's just terrible. That's just sick and disgusting. Sick. But the next clip, the next video that I want to share with you guys is Shank from the Young and Turks on how he commenting, of Leon Black, of his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. And after Jeffrey Epstein was convicted, okay, as a registered sex offender, this man still continued to have some dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. So even though he knew, he still was dealing with Jeffrey Epstein. So he knew what was happening in Jeffrey Epstein orbit. And I have to say, okay, this whole thing, okay, it's a massive global sex trafficking ring. And every person that was involved was complicit. They were complicit of it. And there should be an open investigation because they knew about it. So it's good to ask questions. It's good to question everything, okay? And when people say not to ask questions, tell them to F off because it's good to ask questions, especially if it doesn't make sense. Anyway, take a listen to Shank comment of Leon Black. Take a listen.
Who had the vicious that was described in the Epstein files of a 16-year-old girl who had Down syndrome and was autistic. And he bites her, he draws blood. He's a sick man, according to those allegations. Why is Leon Black not arrested? Why is there not an investigation of Leon Black?
Great question.
Isn't that super weird? If you're an FBI agent.
Pause, Shank, and I can tell you why. And I didn't pull it up here, but I'm going to tell you why he's not been arrested. So Benjamin Black, which is Leon Black's son, an investor, works with President Trump, okay? Let me just make this bigger. Gosh, he looks like a pervert. Anyway. So Benjamin Black is an American investor and chief executive officer of the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation. He is a founder and managed the partners of Foreign Brass and Enterprise and was the CEO. Of at Christensen, corporate with a career spanning roles in private equity in corporate law and credit. So he works with President Trump. So that's why President Trump said, I have to protect my friends. That's why, Shank. That's why there's no arrest made. That's why there's no investigation, because His son, Benjamin Black, worked with Donald Trump. That's why they're not doing anything.
And you get those things, those emails that are in the files, and those notes from the survivors that are in the files. When we read it to you earlier in the week, wouldn't you immediately start an investigation on Leon Black?
Absolutely.
But yet, there was no investigation at all to this day. Forget being arrested, there's not even an investigation. Obviously, our government is guilty. Obviously, our government is protecting the predators, is perfectly aware that young American girls were being raped, and our government covered that up and let it continue decade, not just year after year, decade after decade. That's how sick our government is. And to this day, no charges against Leon Black.
I don't even know what to say. And even though I mentioned in my previous video that I would not talk about this anymore because I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated that our government is not doing anything about it. Our government is not doing an open investigation. I was like telling my husband that, and then he said, "How do you know? They might be doing it in behind the scenes." I'm like, okay. After hearing what Marjorie Green Taylor had to say with Julian Michaels, it makes absolutely a lot of sense. Because if that was the case, they would have done an open investigation since last year. Okay, but they're not, and they have no intention of doing that at all. And that's the sad part. That's why I'm just so frustrated about the whole situation, that our government, who is supposed to protect the innocents, or to protect children, okay, because children are innocent, and these are God's children. But instead, you have our government protecting pedophiles, protecting these predators, which to me, you're evil. To me, you're the devil. And they have no guilty conscience. They are okay doing what they're doing and knowing that they got away with it because they have high, powerful friends to back them up. So like Jeffrey Epstein, among the other people, if you commit a crime, you have a safe passageway. Go to Israel, go to other foreign countries that they won't convict you or charge you. That's what they do. That's what they do. And I truly believe that. You know, a lot of people are speculating that Epstein is alive. Possibility. I would love to see the body. It's a possibility that he's living his best life in Tel Aviv, Russia. I don't know. It's easy to fake someone's death. That's the FBI. They can easily do that. They can easily falsify records, dental, all that stuff. He's probably alive somewhere. Probably doing exactly the same thing that he's been doing for decades. Yeah, he's probably doing that. So again, I don't know if he's alive or dead, but he was a big access to the Mossad, to the Israel government, because he knew a lot. So do I believe that he committed suicide? No, because everything looking back to his jail cell and all that stuff, that was all staged. That was all up front. The camera was not working. The security guard, wasn't there, fell asleep. The person that was supposed to be assigned with Jeffrey Epstein got transferred all of this other, where, you know what I mean? Everything looked staged. Everything looked fake and gay. Everything looked like a cover up, okay? My thing is that he probably was killed, or they fake his death and they transfer him to another country, a foreign country, Tel Aviv, Israel, so no one will find him. Okay, those are my two possibilities. Again, I don't want to go through that rabbit hole, but that's the thing. My theory is, if someone else wants to go there or go through that rabbit hole, feel free to do it. But those are my two options. Okay, he did not kill himself. And a lot of people are aware of that. He didn't kill himself. Okay, he didn't. But anyway, let's get back to this, you guys. We're gonna continue with Tim Dillon and his more stuff that he had to say about Jeffrey Epstein. Take a listen.
Chance to review these unredacted documents.
To review any of the unredacted files over at the DOJ, the Epstein files?
I did.
You did?
Yeah, I just came from there.
What can you tell us?
There's a bunch of sick fucks.
And I mean, anything more that we don't know? I feel like that's pretty well established.
I know. I think the part that is just so disgusting is that so many people knew.
Did he have any ties?
So here's the other thing. This is the thing about conspiracies. This is the This is the one thing they always say. They go, well, how could so many people keep their mouth shut? There's no way conspiracies could exist because there's so many people. So many people would have to be in on it. That's like the dumb guy thing that everyone says. But so many people, no, yeah, so many people can be in. But people keep their mouth shut about a lot. People keep their mouth shut about a lot. Threaten their money, threaten their food, threaten their family.
Yes.
You don't even have to threaten.
Absolutely.
It's implied. It's implicit. They know if they open their mouth, they're opening themselves up to liability, legally, financially. People shut their mouth. People shut their mouth all the time.
Yes.
How could people? There's so many people who have to keep quiet about it. And they will. They will. What are we running around with a bunch of heroes in this country? What are you fucking idiots? We got a bunch of heroes in this country willing to risk it all. I'm going to risk it all to help some woman I don't know. Half of those people want it. They're jealous they can't the women. What are you talking about? We have a bunch of heroes that are going to risk life and limb to help their fellow man? What country do you live in? Fucking get out of here. What country do you live in? Well, so many people would have to be in on it. No. They would gladly be in on it. They would willfully be in on it because they don't want to make their lives any more difficult than they already are. That's why they're not coming to the defense of anything. They don't care. So many people would have to be there. No, there's an enforced code of silence. And you know what enforces it? Threats to people's livelihood, their level of comfort. And we're not talking about poor people that have nothing to lose here. We're talking about people that have a lot of fucking money. They have a position in society that they don't want to lose. So many people would have to be in it. Why aren't there more heroes in Aspen? Why aren't there more heroes in Aspen on the slopes? Aren't they heroic? Where's all the heroes in Palm Beach? Where are all the heroes? Where's the fucking the spirit that founded the country, the spirit of the people that fought the British? What? Can you imagine? Just think about it for a second. You're in Aspen. You wake up at the lodge. It's snowing outside. You have a cup of coffee, and someone comes up to you and they go, "Did you know that guy Jeffrey Epstein?" You go, "They think he's trafficking women and children." And now, half of them, let's be honest, half of their responses, "Oh, I'm also doing that." And then they go, "Is there good money in that?" You have no idea. You have no idea what a good business is. That's half of them. Half of them go, "Oh, I'm actually doing that. I'm also doing that." You're doing that. I heard you were doing that. Now that's good business there. Oh yeah, we put him on. We've got a sultan who's a billionaire. He does shipping. We throw him in a crate. Interesting. Are you getting the waffle? Do you want to split the waffle? That's half of them. Now the other half would go like this. Okay, so best case. Worst case, they're also trafficking women and children in Aspen when they say that. That's the worst case. You go, "Oh yeah, I know. I've been to the island. I know exactly what he's doing." Do you want his number? That's worst case. Worst case, they go, "Oh, you need his number? I have his number." Best case, they go like this. Somebody goes, "I hear there's a guy, that Jeffrey guy that we met. He's like a shady guy. He's involved with trafficking women and children." This is what they do with the coffee, ready? Huh. Do it again. You just heard that Jeffrey Epstein was trafficking women and children. You're in Aspen, Colorado. Fresh coat of powder on the hills, on the mountains. Fresh coat of powder on the mountains. You're sipping coffee at the lodge. You hear 9 a.m. Jeffrey Epstein trafficking women and children. Somebody tells you, "You know that guy Jeffrey we met? He's trafficking women and children." Your response. That's what it was. That's what it is. What do you think they're going to do? Well, let's call the FBI right now. Let's interrupt our vacation and launch a crusade to destroy this billionaire and ourselves in the process because we're heroes. Heroes in Aspen.
He's not lying. He's not lying. And maybe there were one out of the billionaire from all the rest of the pedophiles, the predators, wanted to, do the right thing. And then maybe someone talked them out of it. If you do the right thing, if you try to be a hero, then you're going to lose everything. And we're going to lose everything. Just all that manipulation and trying to tell them that if you even step up and say anything, it's over. It's a wrap. So he's right about that. He's right. And that did probably happen. And that's why a lot of these billionaires kept their damn mouth shut. And that's why they didn't outed anyone. That's why they didn't say anything. The only person they got rid of is Jeffrey Epstein. And the other person, Ghislaine Maxwell, is serving 20 years in a soft prison, okay? Soft, low maximum prison, 20 years, after recruiting young girls, sexually abused them, had them trafficked by other rich, powerful men, and they transfer her to a low maximum security prison. That's crazy. That's crazy. So basically, If someone commit a crime, then they can just be transferred and go somewhere very low prison. I just don't understand this. I just don't understand how there's rules for one and rules for the rest of us. I just don't get it. And if we should trust our government, we should have respect for our government. You guys see what's going on here. How is that fair? And then we work so hard and they take our tax-paying dollars to give it to Israel, okay, for weapons of mass destruction, for their war. Our hard money that people are suffering right now, that can't even afford affordable groceries, can't afford a home, rent, whatever. And you taking our tax-paying dollars that we work hard for to fund these people, and you committing crimes and corruption. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. And then you want us to follow the rules, to abide by the rules, okay? But you guys are committing all the corruption. Make it make sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Again, it's good for the goose, but not for the geese. It's good for the rich, but not for us. So the rich can commit crimes. They're not above the law. And then for us abiding citizens, we have to follow the rules. We have to follow the laws. We have to pay our taxes. We have to do all that stuff. But the rest of these suckers, these billionaires, they can just do whatever the fuck they want, and that's okay. But I can just tell you this, God is good, even though I'm a little annoyed and upset right now because all this is happening. But I know that my God, he's good. And I know that he's going to expose a lot of people. And I keep repeating myself, this is the year. This is the year that a lot of people are going to be exposed. Will there be arrests made? No. Well, there will be a lot of people being exposed, and we're going to see a lot of people's true colors. And I can just tell you right now, President Trump, in my opinion, legacy and all that, is going to shamble. Okay, it really is, because he can just have the audacity to protect these predators, protect these people, and not do the right thing. And to me, that's utterly disgusting. And all I can say is, people are going to reap what you sow. All these predators, these perverts, these pedophiles, they're all going to reap what they sow. It's coming. It's coming. And I'm not saying it's a threat. It's coming. God is going to fix each and one of these people. You will see. You will see. You're going to come back. And I told my husband this, because we had this big discussion on February 13th. I said, we're going to circle back and you're going to remember the conversation that I said to you. And he knows the conversation. You're going to remember this. And that's all I'm going to say about that. And that's what I told my husband. But continue on, Tim.
We've got it. We're heroes. Most of these people, their money's like fake. They know it's fake. They know it's fake. They know it's fake. They don't even know how they're that rich, half these people. God forbid this thing starts to boomerang on them. They're all going, God forbid, they start looking at how we have our money. How the fuck do we have our money? So this idea that there's just a bunch of heroes in this country, in Palm Beach or in the Hamptons. They're in the Hamptons, they're eating a lobster roll, and they're sitting there, and the bugs are flying around, and it's humid, and they're eating a lobster roll in the Hamptons in the summer, and somebody comes up to them and goes, that guy Jeffrey, I hear he does weird shit with women and children. And they imagine that at that point, these people spring up out of their seats in their pink polos and their white linens, their white linen shirts or whatever, and they spring up and they go, this can't stand.
He is funny. And I'm going to show you a last clip of Tim Dillon about Epstein. So take a listen.
330 gallons of sulfuric acid, and we wanted to, and the day the FBI opened an investigation into him, some people think he might have been ordering it to dissolve the bodies of people that he had killed. Now, this is after he made that sweetheart deal the first time. So he's saying to himself, I might be able to survive the sex trafficking angle of this. The intelligence communities will say it's not sex trafficking. And I'll be able to say, I groped a 17-year-old again. I'm sorry, and we'll do another sweetheart deal. But then Ghislaine was like, but darling, we've killed all these people. And he's like, right, we did kill a lot. We killed a lot. So then he's going, well, we got to get rid of all these people we killed. We got to get rid of them. We got to burn. We got to dissolve them in acid, because I might be able. And I bet this is what went through his mind. I think I'm right. He goes, I'll make another sweetheart deal. They'll just write me off as a creep. the intelligence side of this is going to protect the trafficking stuff. You got to remember, the first time he's accused, there's like 200 victims, and he cops to touching one of them inappropriately during a massage.
Right.
He's going, well, I'll just do that again. Here's the problem. He killed all these people. Darling, we killed all these people, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you must deal with it.
Right. And I can believe that. I can. Because why would you have that acid thing? The only reason you will use that is to get rid of a body. Because with that type of acid, the body is decomposed. There's nothing left but bones. And once it turns into bones, then you can just bury it somewhere in different areas. I believe that. I believe that happened, and they're aware of it. They all know what the man did. So I believe what Tim Dillon is saying, and that is a possibility. That is a possibility. Now, in conclude, you guys, I want to share with you this video of this gentleman on TikTok and how he is absolutely disgusted of what he read in the Epstein files, and I believe what he saw, because I don't know how he managed to get the video, but it seemed like he did, and I don't know how. I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch the video. I don't think they would release it anyway, but something he read on the Epstein files, and it's just very disturbing and disgusting, and it's just heartbreaking. So I just want to share with you guys this last video of this gentleman giving his what's the word? His not opinion, but his thoughts about of the whole Epstein thing and what he has concluded of this. So take a listen.
Just made the biggest mistake probably that I've ever made in my life. Last night, couldn't sleep, looked at the files, started with documents, moved on to video, and my God, bloody hell. We're living in bloody hell. I had to stop because I can't unsee what I saw. In my life, I've watched horror movies, not even close. Blood-curdling screams of young kids, the fear in these children. These people are the devil walking earth. The devil is on earth. It was horrible. Unaliving of children. The idea.
He said bloody hell. Hot damn. So there is video. I didn't know there was videos in the Epstein files. And I don't know why would he want to watch that. Me, I could not. I just don't want to because I think I wouldn't sleep or eat for days. And I'm a good visual person, and I just don't want to know. I just don't want to watch that. I think it's just utterly disturbing, gross, and sick. But he did it, and God bless his soul for doing that. But he said bloody hell. Hot damn.
That they've been unaliving children, cutting up intestines and eating them, unaliving babies, violating, essaying these children. I mean, I've never in my life, if you had told me in my wildest dreams, I swear, maybe I'm naive. Am I naive? But if you told me in my wildest dreams that this kind of thing was happening in this country or in the Vatican and all this whole circle of pain and power, I wouldn't have believed you. I wouldn't have believed you. There's no way I would have believed you. I said, there's no way. Full of shit. I have to go see for myself because I keep taking third-party accounts of this thing. And yeah, my solution is that whole government that's allowing this to happen, the leaders need to go. They need to be taken out of their positions because we can't trust them. Our whole system is being undermined. We're looking like the fool of the earth. Everybody's laughing at us, and we sit here and do nothing. This is my activism. But if people want to rally or do whatever it is, I'm in. Go to the Capitol, I'm in. Because this is bad, man. I feel like ashamed to be human. And we're just letting it go. As I said before, if this was Obama, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Thoughts and comments below, please. I want to hear.
Okay. So you heard what he had to say, and it was very disturbing to his core watching the video of these children so young being tortured and their body parts are being eaten, it's just disgusting. And I agree with them. We can't trust our government. I've been saying that for the longest, since last year. We cannot trust our government because our government is not trustworthy, because look at the behavior and look at the stuff that we're doing. Listen, if this was a third world country, you think that they wouldn't release anything. They would have just kept their mouth shut and not do anything. At least I give credit with a third world country. They don't say anything. So if there's corruption going on in their country, they wouldn't say shit. They would have kept it under wraps and kept it sealed. Here, they didn't do that. They tried to, but they didn't. Okay? And like I keep saying, it's not about the Democrats, it's not about the Republicans. It's about power, wealth, corruption, and just people in power. That's what it is. That's what our government is all about. The government is not for the people. Okay? Even though MAGA is for making America great again, no, it's making pedophiles great again. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me live. It was longer than I expected, but I just really wanted to come up here and tell you that they all knew about Epstein. Each and every one of them. They all knew. They all knew what he was doing, what he was doing with underage girls, and they turned a blind eye. They turned a blind eye. They thinking that these young girls were disposable. They didn't matter. No one's not going to believe them. So it doesn't matter what they say or do. We just got to get rid of it. We just got to fix the problem, because when it comes to money, that's what they're good at: fixing the problem and making it go away. By making it go away, by settling, by disposing the body, by covering it up, by doing lots of things, you guys. That's what they do. That's what they're good at. And making it seem like we are crazy, that we are crazy to think, we are crazy to ask questions, we are crazy to put things together. It's like saying 1 + 1 is 2, but they're telling you, no, it's not 2. It's actually 4. And you tell them, no, 1 + 1 = 2. No, Cheryl, it's 4. Again, they're trying to gaslight you, make you seem like you're crazy, and you're not, for asking questions. And it's plainly obvious, okay? You know, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted in 2008 for soliciting 17-year-old girl, prostitution. She was a minor. I don't care what law degree you had, she was still a minor. She was not 18. That's still a sex crime. That's still a crime. For a man, whether you're 45, 35, whatever, to have sex with a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, it doesn't matter. It's still a crime. Until they are legally in age, then it's a crime. Unless you live in Europe, then that's a different story. But in the United States, I believe it's still considered as a sex crime. Okay? Unless the law has changed that I'm not aware of, it's still a crime. And I don't care what damn lawyer says anything about it. It's still a crime, period. And I don't understand why lawyers justify it. To me, you're disgusting. For any lawyer to justify, well, she's 17 and 18 months before she turns 18, she's still 17. Until she turns 18, midnight, she's still 17. So I don't understand why lawyers justify it. To me, you're disgusting and you shouldn't be practicing law, in my opinion. Anyway, you guys, that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much for joining me live. And take care. God bless. I really appreciate each and one of you. And I will see you guys